Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 243. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Book Insight Friday, and guess what? 2 weeks in a row, you are getting book insight on a book. And I realized that I did not do a podcast on my book, America, Country Divided. Now, I don't remember why I didn't do it. I think something happened. I must have forgotten or got caught up in the mix of doing a whole bunch of other projects, and America, A Country Divided got lost in the mix. So, America, A Country Divided was more of a continuation of America Under Mind Control. And if you guys haven't listened to that podcast, I would go back. The good thing is on my website, theaquarianmindpodcast.com, you can go to the episodes, you can click standalone books, and you will find America Under Mind Control way faster than trying to scroll through any of the major apps. That's why I always preach my website, because you can find my podcast way faster if you're looking for a certain one. Anyway, so I didn't want to name the book America Under Mind Control 2. I wanted to change the concept of the state of America and focus on us being divided. And there are certain types of discussion in this book that will resonate with you, not necessarily right now, but probably later on down the road if you are to read the book again. Now, I wrote this book, not just for now and in the moment, but for decades down the road. So, you can read it and it will still be relatable and it will still resonate. I wrote the book in 2018. I published it in 2018. So the world was in a certain place at that time. And, I wrote about a couple of topics. The race war, sports, politics, and the national anthem. And this was when we were dealing with the Colin Kaepernick situation with the San Francisco 49ers and him taking a knee over the police brutality that was going on in America. There's microchips, the feminist movement at that time. It's changed exponentially within the past 5 years. Social media controlling our lives, which it still does in a lot of ways. Gun control, which is still an issue that's going on in today's world. The healthcare / medical industry, and that still permeates and infiltrates our society. Education and the cost for knowledge, television and media distractions, and then friendships and relationships. And there were 2 other topics that were in the book, and then I decided to take them out, and for good reason, because they were topics that I didn't feel comfortable in having in the book. I think one person read that version, and then I said, okay, I gotta say goodbye to it. And it wasn't because that person felt any away or anything like that. She embraced the content, which was really good. But I felt like, at that time, it wasn't the greatest thing. And one of the topics, it still affects us in today's world. I'm not going to say what it is, but let's just say it's a topic of discussion that I will never delve into and I will never discuss because it's just not my place to do it. So I guess I'll let you guys put the pieces together on that. It's not too hard to figure out. I wouldn't think too hard about it. Anyway, honestly, America, A Country Divided, it's one of those books where if you pick it up down the road, you'll learn of the state of America and in the affairs of, what's going on in the world at that moment. And I like the thought of that when I was planning out the book, throughout my, my timing of my brainstorming sessions. And while I would love to disclose, everything that went into writing it, you can just honestly see it, you know, in the notes that I have on my blog. Um, so I will say that it was a pretty fast book to write. Probably the second fastest book I've written. I would say the fastest book I've written, it is Living Life to the Fullest. That took a week to do. I don't remember exactly how long it took for me to write this book, but I know it didn't take longer than 3 weeks. Writing books, on the state of America, it's important to me, and it's to, remind us of where we are and how far we have to go with a lot of things, and how it's a constant uphill battle, and the goal of these people who are apparently running the world. They're doing all they can to keep us divided and fighting against each other. And they spend billions of dollars in propaganda to do that, from the news broadcasts and the media, and how things are written in newspapers, and all of these things that are done to perpetuate and keep us, fighting against each other, living in fear, and living in survival mode. We have to always be cognizant of what they're doing, and it's obviously to control our minds through emotions and not thinking clearly and critically. And when you have television, print, and social media now, you're inundated with information on a constant cycle. It's 24/7, 365. It's non-stop. Somewhere along the lines, we have to break away from watching the news so much, and we can't be too fixated and focused on the negativity. I will say that it definitely affects your mental health. I will say it affected mine for a long time. And I got myself to a place where I look at life in a whole different light. And I think, for me to write these books, it's important, but it's to open the floodgates of like what's really going on around us. Not really to scare anyone. I think it's to bring forth conversations, and uncomfortable ones at that, on where we are in this world and what we can do to change it. Because I always say the day we decide to put our heads together and stop fighting each other and take the fight to them, the game's over. The jig is up. And I think right now, as I'm recording this in 2023, there are a lot of things that they don't like. And they figured that they were going to utilize social media platforms to control us and control the narrative. And the thing is that it backfired in so many ways. We all started investigating and started looking deeper into things, and we start watching what we post as far as our personal lives, and we started posting what's really going on behind the scenes that they don't want us to see. And I start to think that I should write another America related book. I don't know if I will do it. Never say never. I will not close that door. I will say that the door is ajar a little bit. It's very possible that I can write another book on America. Will I publish it this year? Absolutely not. Is it possible that it can be published in the next 2 years? Yes. I can say that possibly in 2025 it can happen. I'm not giving any guarantees. I will say that, you know, my books for this year are already written and ready to go. My next 4 for next year are already in the works. I haven't started writing yet, but I have my 4 book titles for next year, and I have the book covers for them. So just to drop you a little hint on that. So keep in mind, America Under My Control was written in 2000. America A Country Divided was written in 2018. America Under My Control 2017. So am I long overdue for another book on America? Yes. But we'll see. I have to sit back, watch the world, observe, have conversations with people who are inquisitive, thought-provoking, and can turn on the light bulb and get my thoughts flowing. So hopefully you guys will take the time to look into America A Country Divided, and know that we have to really band together and be focused and diligent on making sure that we are being able to have our freedom of speech and be able to live the life that we want, and on our terms, not on theirs. So with that said, that is my podcast for today. I thank you guys for listening. As always, big at everyone, and go accomplish your goals.